Gary, football can so often be poetic, and a hat-trick for Jay Stansfield in his final game for the club before he returns to Fulham is probably perfect poetry.
Hopefully not his final game, Craig. Fantastic day for him at this stadium. He's had some difficult moments at this stadium. I think he's grown a lot as a player, as a person throughout the season. I'm delighted for him he could finish in that vein of form, scoring 3 brilliant goals and being able to, receive the adulation of these supporters because they absolutely love him, and so do we. So delighted for him.
Are you hinting there might be efforts in the summer to make him return?
We'd love to have him back. I said to him, he will always be welcome at this football club because he's a fantastic character. He behaves the right way every day. He trains extremely hard, and he has the potential to be a brilliant football player. So it's been a pleasure working with him this year, and like I said, if the opportunity comes, we'd love to work with him again.
We'll speak about the goals in a moment, but what are your overall thoughts on the game at a first half and then a second half that seems to just burst into life?
Yeah, I thought we just played a little bit slow first half. Our tempo wasn't as high as it needed to be. I felt like, it looked like an end of season game, and they didn't come with the intensity that, we felt like a team fighting for their life would. They looked like they were trying to slow the game down and play for a 1-0 victory and wait for an opportunity for Stockton. So I thought we controlled the first half but didn't create anything, and then second half we came out with much more intensity, much more speed in our play, scored 3 excellent goals. Just disappointed with the goals we've conceded. It's an area we have to improve next season. 68 goals is far too many goals to concede, and today again we conceded goals from nothing situations. It wasn't like we were put under any pressure for any length of time. We didn't defend simple actions, and we have to be better at that. Given
the recent defeats, I think you spoke in the week to the players that they owed the supporters a fantastic result and performance, and they certainly gave them that today.
They did, yeah. Second half, they gave the supporters what they needed. 3 goals, like I said, Fistano will be the highlight of the day. But I thought our intensity and our speed of our play at times was brilliant in that second half, and we could have scored more goals. So delighted we've managed to sign off with a win for these supporters who've been incredible home and away this season.
Stano signs off, again, poetry with 9 goals, which I'm sure fans will love that fact. But we saw the chemistry amongst the group, I think, at its very, very best today, leading to those 3 goals.
Yeah, I thought the goals were excellent, the way we cut through them with good possession, but then once we get in certain areas, our speed of our play has to increase, and it did for those moments. And when it does, and we attack the scoring zone with the numbers and the speed at which we did for the goals, then we're a very dangerous team and we can score a lot of goals. So delighted with them. I think we have to be better in terms of when we attack, how we defend. We need to defend, simple actions much better, and that's where a lot of work will be focused on this summer.
Morecambe came into this game knowing that they needed a result to stay in the league. When we seemed to take the lead, both times really, we seemed to sort of pounce on their vulnerability because they knew they had to push men forward to get something.
Yeah, and that's when the ridiculous 14 minutes went up. I think it should have been an opportunity to score more goals because they were so open, but we seemed a bit edgy and didn't know how to approach that and conceded a poor goal. So again, a lesson to be learned that when we're on top and a team gives us the space that they were giving us, we have to punish them and go and score more goals. It's not a case of seeing the game out. So fantastic season overall, but lots to learn, lots to improve on in the summer, and as much as I'm looking forward to a break, I can't wait to get back on the 23rd of June.
Do you have any idea where those 14 minutes came from? Yes, there was 4 goals and both sides made their full substitutions, but there was an audible gasp when 14 went up around the stadium. We were all just seemed quite perplexed at that.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think it came from their bench. I think they were the team that time wasted. I don't know how that should be rewarded when the supporters come to watch a game of football first half where they slowed it down, and then second half they get rewarded for that slow play and get 14 minutes. So thankfully it didn't affect the game. So
I'm sure you won't mind me touching on something that happened during training here on Thursday ahead of performance. John Pitts, he came out with a rubber ring round his side and spoke about players being on the beach. How much of a role does someone like John have on these players? Because they clearly heeded the words that he was saying.
Yeah, I think all my backroom team are fantastic, and I thank them for their work, their efforts this year. It's you know, it's a job where, it's not a job really, it's an obsession where 24/7 you have to think about this football club, these players and how we support them in every aspect. And that was an idea John had to change the players' mentality, to try and think anyone who did think they were on the beach, then we have to change that. And I think it had a big impact, especially on Thursday and Friday's training. And then going into the game today, we tried to keep them focused on the job in hand, and to get the 3 points, then it worked. And that's what we have to do. We have to think differently. We have to use our initiative to try and improve the players in every area, and that will continue in pre-season.
Be interested to know your thoughts on, there's several players out of contract this summer. Were you still using this game to perhaps help make your decision? Has your decision been made up before that? Has perhaps anything been changed by today's game?
No, I think we were pretty clear on what we need to do. We'll speak to the players tomorrow as a group and individually. Some we've already spoken to, as in the case of Jack Sparks, and we wish him well and wherever he goes next. But others we'll speak to tomorrow, and we're pretty clear what we need to do.
And finally, it was Kids in Charge Day today, so I'm going to hand over my final question to Finn, who was my assistant for the day. So Finn, take it away with your final question for Gary.
Obviously, it's the end of your first season here. How do you feel it's gone?
Finn, that is the best question I've had all season. Magnificent. It's been a pleasure to come to this football club. I think it's a unique football club in terms of the supporters owning the football club, and it's been an absolute privilege for me to work for them. And I think it's been a good season, but we want next season to be even better. So the recovery starts now, and then the hard work will start again on June the 23rd.